Welcome back to the number one podcast where we go into reality and talk about whatever we want. I am Usman, rolling solo for this episode, and this is the Into Reality podcast. Now, before we begin, I want to apologize for not giving you guys any episode of the podcast for the last 2, 3 weeks because we've been extremely busy with college and we didn't have the time just to do an episode of the podcast. Like for myself, this is just like my second week into college and have to get things running, get things sorted and whatnot. So that's the whole thing. And this is going to be a late night episode. Now, the reason why I say it's late episode because we haven't given you guys episode so long, I didn't want to try to get any further. So I decided this would be the suitable time to give you guys the episode of the podcast. So if you do enjoy this episode of the podcast, please hit the like button. And if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button. We are trying to get to 100 subscribers on the podcast. So if you want to support the movement, hit that subscribe button and share the podcast around to a friend who would like to listen to us talk about whatever it is. Now, before I talk about what I want to talk about, this episode is proudly sponsored by Mr. Dubai and Co. We'd like to thank Mr. Dubai for appearing on the podcast from time to time and giving us the financial supplies needed to keep the podcast running. So we'd like to say this is sponsored by him and we thank him for the sponsorship. And not only that, I would like to announce that I have opened my very own online business called Positive Vibes Clothing, where I sell different items of clothing such as t-shirts, sweatshirts, and hoodies. All about positive vibes. The motto of the business is no room for negativity. So all about good vibes, good emotions, no room for negativity, no bad thoughts, no bad vibes, none of that. So if you like to support my business, visit pvclothing.shop and get yourself a positive vibes garment. Link to the shop is in the description below. And if you're on Instagram, follow the account as well at Positive Vibes Clo, which is CLO. Link to that is also in the description below. And also there's a Facebook account for that. But if you go into the website and search for the Facebook icon, you'll find the Facebook page over there. Or you can just search for Positive Vibes Clothes on Facebook and you'll probably find it there. Now, let's talk about some football. And yes, we do like some football because that's the one thing we are interested in a lot. Now, when it comes to football, I want to talk about one person. You already know who this is because he's on the thumbnail. This guy goes by the name of Lionel Messi. Now, the reason why we talk about Leo Messi is the fact that he hasn't had the best of starts so far, and people are thinking, "Oh, he can't hack it. He can only do it at Barcelona." No, no, no. That was the motive we were going to run with if we did this episode 2 weeks ago, the one after I came back. But in the PSG game against Manchester City, he went and got himself a goal. a decent goal, scoring the second goal in a 2-0 win against Manchester City. So maybe that's the start that he needs to go on a good run with the trio of himself, Neymar, and Kylian Mbappe. Because right now, when you look at that PSG team, yes, there might be some aging players there, but there's no doubt in mind that PSG have the quality to win the Champions League. They have it. And if they don't win the Champions League with all the talent they are, then I can't see when they will win the Champions League. Now, am I saying that they're favorites? No. But consider other teams' forms in the Champions League, the only one stopping them is probably a team that's already stopped them before, which is Bayern Munich. And Bayern Munich is just Bayern Munich, they do. Teams in the Premier League are kind of up and down. We'll get to the Premier League in a moment. Barcelona's in a mess. Real Madrid are there. Atletico Madrid look like they're doing decent so far as they beaten Barcelona 2-0 in the league. But for PSG, in my honest opinion, this is now or never. This is now or never. You don't win the Champions League this season, I don't think you will win it. But getting away from them, and we're going to look at the Premier League. Now, remember we talked about, Messi attacking it? Well, on the other side, you got Cristiano Ronaldo, who has been on a run, who's been on form since joining. And if I am not wrong, he has played almost every game since he joined Man United. Now, how many games he played? From the top of my head, forgive me if I get this stat wrong, but he's probably played about 4 or 5 games. Yeah, I know he played against Newcastle, he played against Young Boys, he played against West Ham United, he played against Villarreal. Yeah, 4 games. He played 4 games. And he played against Aston Villa as well, so that's fine. So in all those games he's played, he has scored 4 goals. No, he has scored 5 goals in those games. 2 against Newcastle, 1 against Young Boys, 1 against West Ham, 1 against Villarreal. 5 goals. He scored 5 goals in 5 games. So, set out the argument of, is Ronaldo actually better than Messi, considering the start of the form? I still say it's too early. It's too early to judge that. But hey, we still got time. Wait to see what happens. Next off. Next off. We did have Man United play against Everton. The game ended in a 1-1 draw. I think the talking point of that game is Andros Townsend, where he equalized for Everton in the second half. Quality goal. And then he just takes the mick out of Man United and Cristiano Ronaldo doing his celebration, doing this C celebration, which is actually kind of funny. Not gonna lie. So that was like 1-1 for them. Trying to look into other games wherever possible in the Premier in the Premier League. We have Chelsea 3, Everton. Sorry, Southampton 1. It was just another win for Chelsea. And Southampton actually went down to 10 men. So the goal the Southampton scored was a penalty by James Ward-Prowse, but then he got himself sent off in the 77th minute. Timo Werner getting a goal for himself, which is something you'd like to see if you're a Chelsea fan. Next off is Wolves 2, Newcastle 1. And I think Newcastle still haven't got a win yet. They got a couple of draws, but they still haven't won yet. Now, if they don't get on some serious run, they might be facing relegation. And if that's the case, I beg any team to sign Alan St. Maximin from Newcastle if Newcastle get relegated. Because look at a player like St. Maximin. He's too good for championship. He's too good for the championship. Now, playing the club at Newcastle is decent. Play a very historic club and whatnot. But if you want to get better, you also go to the next level. You need to move up. Until then, Newcastle need to get on to Series 4. Next we got Burnley 0, Norwich 0, which is boring, very boring game. Norwich rock bottom of the table. Looks like it's gonna be another same old, same old. Next we got Leeds 1, Watford 0. The goal scored by Patrick Bamford. Then we have Brighton 0, Arsenal 0. I watched this game and I want my 94 minutes of my life back because nothing happened. In fact, Brighton should have won that game with the chance that they were having. Aubameyang missed sitters. He missed some sitters. And I hear people saying that Odegaard wasn't that great as well. I'll say to an extent, but when you have the target man not putting the balls in the net, what more can you really do? Unless you take the situation into your own hands. Then tomorrow, we got Tottenham against Aston Villa. Now, if I was to predict the score for this game, I think this is going to end in a draw. I don't know what score. I'm going to say a draw because Tottenham haven't doing that well. Did they get a 5-0 win in the Conference League? But you put your heavy hitters, so you're expecting to get the win. Yeah. So unless they someone get the boost from that, and if the players who played on Thursday are not going to play, I'm still going to say draw on that. Next, we have West Ham versus Brentford. Brentford are no joke right now. They're actually no joke right now. They came in, got a couple of results, even though against my team. But yeah, they're not to be messed about. If I check, Brentford have 2 wins, 3 draws, and a loss. West Ham have 3 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. So this could be a tight one. This could be a tight one. But who do I think is going to win? I would hope that West Ham should get the job done. West Ham should get the job done, but not convincingly. And it'll be a tie game. I think West Ham will just edge it and get the win. Then we have Crystal Palace versus Leicester City. Now, fun fact. I don't know if this is a fun fact, but here's something you would like to know. Crystal Palace's striker, Alton Edward, was almost a Leicester City player, but it never happened. They decided to go with Pat Daka instead. So Crystal Palace got Alton Edward. Now, again, what do I feel like this is going to go? I think that this game, thinking about it, I think this game will go to Leicester City just because Jamie Vardy is just unreal. Like at his age 34, 35, he's still scoring goals like it's no man's land. So yeah, probably would say Leicester City for a win against Crystal Palace. I admit that Crystal Palace may put up a fight, but I don't think it'll be enough to put the kill switch on Leicester City. And then finally, we got Liverpool versus West. No, Liverpool versus Manchester City, the big game of the weekend. Now, this game will be taking place in Anfield, and everyone knows when Liverpool they're at Anfield with their fans in the stadium is an impossible team to beat. But then again, I say that again. If they win, they will maintain their spots on top of the table. Not only that, they are the only team in the league to not have lost a single match so far. Man City are 6, 4 wins, a draw, and a loss. They got Ferran Torres and Gabriel Jesus switching positions. Jesus playing on the wings, Ferran Torres down the middle. How would I think this will go out? Well, in this case, I can see Liverpool taking the win. It'll be a tight game. It'll be a close game. But for some reason, I feel like Man City will try, but they'll just be off by a little bit. I think the support from the Anfield supporters will give Liverpool that boost to win the match. Yeah, so that's the whole Premier League thing and whatnot. Let's go to another topic I would like to talk about. Now, this is about the petrol crisis in the UK. Now, these people know how to get themselves in trouble one way or another. Now, the problem with this is that there's not that much petrol for the vehicles coming to try and get petrol for their vehicles. Now, there there is probably a shortage of that because there are no drivers that are transporting the petrol for the respective gas stations for cars to refill their cars and carry on where they're going. Now, most of those drivers, I believe, most of those drivers are European people that came looking for jobs and they probably got these truck driving jobs and don't get what now. But obviously, because Brexit has hit the UK hard, it's not even a joke, it has hit the UK hard. Make make sure that they don't have some benefits that the EU countries will have. So I think that's the whole reason. And because of that Brexit, those drivers had to go back to their respective nations. Now, am I surprised? No, I'm not. Because since you have Boris Johnson as your prime minister, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Because somehow the UK always find ways to make a fool and a joke out of themselves. And being in Ireland just makes me laugh a bit. Not all, just makes me laugh a bit like, eh, looks like they're having a big problem. Well, that's them. Hopefully they get the situation out of the way. What else is there out there going on? Oh yeah, I want to ask you guys a question. And my question is, do you rate TikTok now? I'll say it again. The question is, do you rate TikTok now? The reason I ask this question is because back then, TikTok was led by these teenage girls or maybe young adult girls doing these subpar dances on TikTok. And yes, I said subpar because those dances and them getting all this attention and followers alike would kind of sound like an insult on professional dancers who've been practicing their craft for years, performing on stage for years, and don't get the much attention that they probably deserve. So there's that one. Any answer you may have and to your reasons why, do let me know in the comments section. Hopefully I'm not the only one thinking this way. Oh, of course, you have a reason. Again, comment section. I want to know the reasons for that. And the final thing I want to put in, because it's almost 2 in the morning and I should probably get some sleep. But from now to the end of the year and by the start of the year, I want to get in more guests, more special guests onto the podcast because last time we had a special guest on the podcast was Shady Shay. The episode did phenomenal. And now, since I took a break on a vacation for a couple of months and came back, I believe that we should get this podcast back back up and running as you should be. So, you guys know any guests, know any special guests that you want to see on the podcast, let us know in the comment section below. I have an idea of people I would like to have on the podcast. Some Instagram influencers, probably some fitness influencers. You know what I'm talking about. Probably some some smaller rappers, small singers. You get the drift and all that sort. If you have any ideas, let us know in the comment section below so we can reach out to them see if they would want to. But nonetheless, I'm going to end the episode right here. On next week's episode of the podcast, I'll be looking to discussing a couple of questions about education, about school, and whatnot. When I want to talk about certain things about school, see if it's really worth our time and effort, putting our energy into certain parts of school and education. So if you want to listen to the episode, you want to look forward to it, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, like the video. So, anyways, thank you for listening. If you did enjoy this episode of the podcast, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, help us reach 100 subscribers, or probably the next milestone that's possible at this moment in time. You can follow my and Abdullahi's socials. You will find them on the screen right now. Yep. Also, we would like to thank Mr. Dubai and Co. for sponsoring this episode of the podcast. And if you want to get yourself some positive garments, visit pvclothing.shop and order yourself a piece or two, or even three. There is free shipping for Irish orders over €80 and international orders made free when you spend over €100. So link to the shop is in the description. But anyways, thank you guys for listening. Tune in next week. Take care and wash your hands.